Hi, I'm Dana, and I'm going to be talking about my selling journey, my experience on Poshmark, both as a seller and a buyer, and also some tips about how to make some bucks on Poshmark. I started using Poshmark in March of 2017, so it's been over 2 years. And before that, I was using a different app um, for I think about a year before I downloaded Poshmark and started using it. And the reason for that was just because I wanted to expand and not just on one app. I wanted to boost sales, so I wanted to expand to different apps. And I found Poshmark, and I think some of the things that really attracted me to it were it had a huge um, huge amount of users, and the app itself was very clean and easy to use as a buyer and a seller. So that's what I kind of liked about it. Um, so I've been on it since March of 2017. I've sold quite a few things. I've also bought a few things, and yeah, I'm still active now. I enjoy it. It's out of all the apps that I use now to sell, it's the one that I get the most sales on. And I think part of it is because of the huge range of audience on the app. So with the app that I used before I downloaded Poshmark, a lot of those users were they're like teenagers or young 20-year-olds. And so the audience there was very different than what's on Poshmark. Poshmark, they're Tiger, stop it. On Poshmark, there are a lot of older users as well, and people who are searching for more luxury items instead of just cheap, trendy items. So that was really good for me because I sell for my mom too. So she has quite a few older style clothes, and I've gotten to sell a lot of them on Poshmark. So some tips about selling. I would say the first one and the most important one that actually a lot of people don't do is sharing your items. That's one of the things that makes Poshmark different from other selling apps is that you can share your items. Other apps, you pretty much just post your item and then it sits there until it sells, unless you decide to delete it and relist it. But on Poshmark, you can post an item and then you can keep sharing them over and over again, and then it'll go up to the top of the feed. So yeah, that's really important. You should definitely be sharing to the parties, and that's another thing that makes Poshmark really unique is that there are something called Posh parties. There's 4 every single day at the same time every day. So they have them at 9 a.m., 12 p.m., 4 p.m., and 7 p.m. PST. And it would be different if you're on the East Coast or whatever. So it's really important to share to these parties and make sure that your items fit whatever category that party is. So for example, if the party is best in swim, for example, then you want to make sure that you're only sharing your swimsuits and stuff to the party. Otherwise, there's no point because it won't share. But yeah, it's really important to share to those parties. It gets you a lot of exposure. You can also get host picks when you share to the parties, and you can get those by so for each party there's maybe 4 or 5 users who can host the party. They're called party hosts, and a lot of times if you ask them for a host pick, they might give you one, and a host pick will basically just give you a lot of exposure for your item and for your whole closet in general. So yeah, it's nice to do that and get a host pick. Yeah, other things is really just to build your following. Poshmark is really, I mean, it's based on social media. So going on your profile, it looks a lot like Instagram. You have the number of listings, you have the number of shares, you have the number of followers, and then you have the number of people that you're following. So it's a lot like Instagram. It's really important to build your following. And on Poshmark, I don't think it's very hard. There's so many users. There's like, I don't know how many users there are, like millions of users. So getting like, Tiger, can you please stop? Oh my god, he's gonna attack me. So yeah, it's really important to build your following. The more followers you have, the more people are gonna see your items and are gonna share your items. So that's gonna create more exposure for your closet, which is great. So let's see, that's tip number 2. Tip number 3 is to have amazing pictures. Well, not like amazing, just good pictures. I have seen so many pictures, like terrible, terrible pictures on other apps and on Poshmark too. And I understand that when you're starting as a seller, you know, because I'm guilty of it myself. When I first started as a seller, I took really bad pictures. They're terrible. But now that I've been selling for like 3.5 years, I say my pictures are like pretty decent. Some of them are good, but of course they could be better. So it's really important to just, you know, look at other people's pictures and take inspiration from them and try to improve your pictures as much as you can. I've seen so many pictures that are like just on the carpet with like a bunch of like trash around the item, and like the person's feet are in the picture. There's like a dog in it. Like, you don't want that in your picture. You know, it doesn't look cute, and it's not gonna get you a sale. So yeah, and then the 4th thing is great customer service. Being really kind to your buyers and to other sellers. Because honestly, if you don't, you might get blocked. You might get blocked, you might get your account suspended. But just try to be like understanding. There are definitely there are buyers who are rude and annoying and waste your time. But it's still really important to be really mature and professional when you talk to them, just because that reflects who you are, like as a seller, and other people are gonna see. They're gonna have an idea of you as a seller and as a buyer, as a person in general. So even though this is all online, it's all virtual, nobody's ever gonna meet you for the most part. It's still really important to just have that professional air, because you want repeat buyers, and you want people who can trust you and say that you have good customer service and all that. Because in the end, this is a customer service type of job. So yeah, just be nice in your everyday life, not just on Poshmark. 5th tip. What is my 5th tip? My 5th tip is a lot of times when, and this still happens to me too, a lot of times there are like, your sales go like this. Sometimes they're really good. You get like a bunch of sales out in one day, and then sometimes you'll have like a dry spell for like a week or whatever. Just like don't get demotivated, don't get uninspired, don't get demotivated, because as long as you follow all previous 4 tips, you have nice pictures, you're a really good seller, you have a reputation, you're sharing your items, you will find the right buyer for you. So I think what a lot of people do often is when their sales are going slow, they do like a huge sale, And honestly, I'm guilty of this too. They do like a huge sale and then they lower all their prices to like $1 or $2, and obviously like get some stuff moving, but at the same time, like you could you could have sold those items for a little bit higher if you were just a little bit more patient. So yeah, just don't get demotivated unless of course like you are really trying, you're like in a time crunch, you need to get rid of your stuff, then yeah, do your sales. But for the most part, like don't stress out, don't freak out if you go 1-2 days without any sales, because that happens to the best of us, unless you're like an amazing seller, you have like 3,000 items or something. But yeah, just like have fun with it. It gets addicting. I've been doing it for years and I still really enjoy it. I love it. It's like my biggest hobby, which is great because it pays for itself. Um, but yeah, and learn from other people, learn from other sellers. Um, Save the world, buy used, sell used, go thrifting, recycle your clothes and everything else, reuse. Yeah. Let me see what else. So if you like this video, I'm not going to tell you to subscribe because I don't care if you do or not. But if you like this video and you think and you don't have a Poshmark and you think it's really cool and everything, please do download the app, or make an account online on your computer, whatever. Um, um, I'll have the link below, and then I'll also have my code to use so that you can get like a free $5 credit toward any purchase. Um, and yeah, feel free to ask me any questions. I'll have my username so you can follow me and share my items, and I'll share yours back. I always share everybody's items back. And check out my closet and buy some stuff. 'Cause I have a lot of cute stuff. I really do. Alright, bye.